If you're leading a team, you know that trust isn't just nice to have. It's actually foundational. So today we are diving into one of the most powerful frameworks for building trust that I have ever come across, which is Brené Brown's Braving model. By the end of this lesson, you will know exactly how to apply each component to foster trust with your team, which of course leads to stronger collaboration and better outcomes. Welcome to The Modern Manager. I am Amy Canfor Stewart, and every week I share strategies and tips to help you be a rockstar manager with a thriving team. So let's get to it. Brené Brown is one of my favorite thought leaders, and her Braving model for building trust, it's simple and it's powerful. So let's walk through it one letter at a time, and I will show you how you can apply each element directly to the workplace. First up is B for boundaries. Boundaries might be one of the most misunderstood elements of building trust. And I even did a lesson, which I will link to in the show notes, on setting boundaries with your team. But as Brené says, clear is kind. And in the workplace, this means being upfront about what's okay and what's not. So as a manager, the big boundary that most of us struggle with is time. Obviously, you need to be respectful of your team members' time, and they need to be respectful of yours, which means things like don't schedule meetings after hours unless it's an emergency. And don't expect replies to your emails over the weekend. But most importantly, you need to let your team members know that they can share their boundaries with you. So you can set your boundaries, and you don't need to be available 24/7. It's okay to say, can I get to this tomorrow? Trust starts with mutual respect, and that includes respecting each other's limits. R is for reliability, which means basically doing what you say you'll do. Now, that sounds kind of simple, but in a work environment where people feel so overloaded, it is easy to overpromise and underdeliver. So if you tell your team that you're going to get back to them on Friday, you got to get back to them by Friday. And if something comes up, that's okay. Just communicate it proactively and reset their expectations. Because it's better to renegotiate the commitment than to let someone down silently. And the same is true for your people. Remind them that you want to trust them, right? You want to give them autonomy. You want them to be able to work in whatever ways and at whatever times works for them, which means that they need to reliably deliver their work on time, and it needs to meet the expectations. And if they need to shift something around, obviously that's okay. But they also need to be proactive about letting you know so that you don't have to be the one chasing them down. Here is where consistency matters. People need to know that they can count on you, not just once, but over time, just as you need to count on them. A is for accountability. We all make mistakes. The question is, do you own them? Accountability in leadership means saying, I messed up, and then making it right. It means being open when things go wrong, whether it's a delay in a project or a bad decision or a miscommunication. You have to show your team how to handle mistakes with integrity. This is a huge component of psychological safety. When leaders take responsibility, when they show that vulnerability, it gives their team members permission to do the same. And that then creates a culture where learning is valued more importantly than blame. V is for vault. Trust is built in those tiny moments of confidentiality, and it is lost and broken just as fast. The vault means that you don't share things that aren't yours to share. And as a manager, you are often privy to information that your team doesn't need to know. This could be things happening in the business or stuff going on with another team member. You never want to share confidential information about the business, a client, another employee, even after they've left. As a manager, you need to be the vault. Protect conversations, keep confidences, and set the tone for privacy and respect. This way, when a team member needs to speak with you about something private, like a medical condition or a challenge they're having with another colleague, they'll feel comfortable coming to you because they know that you are going to be respectful and keep their confidence. I is for integrity. Integrity means choosing what's right over what is easy. It means making that hard call even when it's uncomfortable. And in the workplace, this shows up when you need to defend a team member who's not in the room, or when you speak up about something that just doesn't feel right and doesn't align with your values, even if no one else is speaking up. It means making decisions grounded in data and doing what's best for the team or the goal, not what's best for you. It is walking the talk. If you say you value transparency, be transparent. If you preach work-life balance, model it. Your actions speak louder than words, and your team members are watching you. N is for non-judgment. As a leader, your team should feel safe coming to you with questions, struggles, ideas, or feedback without worrying that you're going to think that they are incompetent or weak or incapable. And this means that you need to show appreciation rather than criticism or defensiveness. Saying things like, "Thank you for the feedback," or "You've given me a lot to think about," or "I'm really glad you came to me with that." Those kinds of phrases help demonstrate that you're open to hearing from your team without judging them. It is this non-judgment that builds real connection. G is for generosity. And I'm not talking about being generous with vacation days or bonuses or any of those kinds of things. Here, generosity means assuming the best of others. When someone misses a deadline, pause before jumping into conclusions. Maybe they were overloaded. Maybe they didn't understand the task. Maybe a different priority came up and they focused on that instead. It's cases like these where you go and you ask simple questions and you don't accuse. You could say something like, "I was expecting this document by the end of the day yesterday and just wanted to make sure everything's okay and wondering if something caused a delay and when I can expect it now to be delivered." That is so much better than, "You knew this was so important. How could you miss this deadline?" When we extend that most generous interpretation of others' words and actions, we make space for curiosity instead of criticism. And that is how you keep trust intact, even in those difficult moments. So that's it. Braving. Boundaries, reliability, accountability, vault, integrity, non-judgment, and generosity. This is a powerful guide for building trust in the workplace, all thanks to Brené Brown. Now, here's my challenge for you. Pick just one of these this week and focus on it. Just one. Maybe being more intentional with your boundaries, watch that other video I mentioned, choose to assume good intent in a tense situation. Pick one, because trust isn't built in a day, but it is built every day. For more tips on being a rockstar manager with a thriving team, go to themodernmanager.com. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment, and check out my latest video right over here.